and high 80. And the two guys with me right now are looking forward to that kind of weather. We're on the throttle today, all brought to you by Jason Dietz. Collision repair, trailer repair, and anything else he wants to do. AJ Door, Suburban Auto, Brian Ford Lincoln, and Fast Forward Motorsports. And with me, as always, Dwayne Hancock. And 80 and sunny would be a welcome thing for a racer like you.
It doesn't matter if it's 90 and sunny here coming up here very soon with all this rain. I tell you, I mean, I'd rather 80 and sunny, but you know. That'd be okay.
Sunny is the operative word in that whole thing, right?
Especially Sunday.
Yeah.
Especially this coming Sunday.
Sunday.
Yeah, Sunday.
sunny on Sunday.
Yes.
Sunday, that's what we're after?
Because my guest today, which him and I have been doing a lot of work together on the Dirt Nerds podcast together, but Elliot Aldridge, the King Dirt Nerd, as I call him.
He just says that because I can't say my rebuttal on your show. I can say it on mine.
Yeah. Something about a dumb donkey or something. I don't know.
Yes. King dumb donkey. I think Jim can attest to that one, though, too. So
I do understand that. I have that down, and I think there's a lot of folks listening right now that have that as well.
Yeah, there you go.
Shut up, Poorman. I know he's listening.
They have their own little pet name for our boy there, Dwayne, you know, that they can't utter when
I'm sure.
Right. Well, you know.
Right. Maybe I should find out all of them.
Yes.
Get a T-shirt made.
There you go. That's right. So racer's excuse shirt.
Yeah, you look like a race car at that point
in
time with all those things all over. You don't be that busy, I'm sure.
That's true. That's true.
Guys, how was the racing over the weekend with all the rain?
Actually, it was great. Well, only a few shows got in. Eldora got the Dream in, and Gas City got their show in, which that new promoter down there, Jerry Gapins, I tell you, they used to just cancel right away, and they had like a 2-3 hour rain delay, and he says, hey, we're racing, so they went late in the night Friday night, and Oak Shade got their show in. Somehow. Everybody else in the area got rain, and Angola opened the gates and got hot laps in, then tornadoes are hitting all around the place, so they decided to shut it down. I know our buddy Chad Porman was up there, so. But yeah, it was good. I mean, then we're getting ready for a huge week starting this week, and we're having our first ever live Dirt Nerds podcast at Waynesfield Motorsports Park for part of Ohio Sprint Speed Week. That starts Friday. Okay. And Speed Week starts at Attica Raceway Park Friday night, 9 straight nights for the Arctic All-Star Sprint cars, owned by Tony Stewart. That makes it famous now.
Yeah. Well, the interesting part about that is he is expected to be racing some of them.
Yes, he's going to race some of it. Kyle Larson's committed to race some of it. Christopher Bell's racing. You could get a Chase Briscoe. Casey Kane has been known to come race him because NASCAR's off next week. So Larson will definitely be there. Kane's going to probably be there some. Bell, Stewart. And what's unique about our podcast on Sunday, it's at Waynesfield, but Attica Raceway Park is sponsoring our podcast with the Brad Doty Classic coming up Tuesday, July 10th. With Brad Doty is going to be one of our guests again. We have him on usually before the Brad Doty Classic, so they're just helping out on anyway. They're coming on the throttle. They're helping out Dirt Nerds. It's just one big happy family.
Yeah. That's how you Dirt Nerds are.
Right.
That's right.
Exactly.
And
one big happy family.
Yeah, and I mean, a huge thanks to Rex. He reached out to me about it actually, and great partnership there. Obviously, Jim, you're not a huge racing guy, but you know the name Brad Doty, that's for sure.
Do,
so,
if
you can ever get out of here, Tuesday, July 10th might be the day you need to get out and head over to Attica.
Yeah,
yes.
That might be a fun night to go.
Yes, that's on a Tuesday, and it's the World Outlaws.
There you go, Rex. I sold you a ticket already.
That's right. That's right. And Rex has been on our show before, and it's funny because everybody always makes fun of Rex. Always says it's his birthday. He's got like 8,000 birthdays. His real birthday was the other day, and I text Elliot, "Hey, Rex's real birthday is today." So,
so happy late birthday, Rex.
Yeah, but
when you have that many birthdays throughout a year, it's
right.
It's a good smokescreen for an old guy like me.
Right.
You never know then when your birthday really is.
Exactly.
I have a feeling Friday might be Rex's birthday again.
Yeah, I'm sure it will be. But Ohio Sprint Speed Week kicks off. I think it's the 32nd annual. I believe.
got
Guys
this
come.
done, man.
Yeah, no, I had to think for a second. It was just scary, especially after a long weekend at Eldora.
Wait, at Eldora?
Yeah.
What was racing at Eldora, Dwayne? Hey, Rex, listen to this part.
Late models.
Late models.
Yeah.
Dwayne's a late model fan.
I was this weekend. I was.
Yeah, for all of you listening right now that don't understand, there is a bit of a rivalry going on right here. And Mr. Dirt Nerd is a late model guy, okay? And Mr.
Born and raised.
and Mr.
Yes.
Mr. Hancock over here is definitely a dirt guy.
Yes.
Put the feet down in the dirt, baby, and let's go.
That's right. But I'm not going to lie, and I even put posts on social media.
Yep.
That the racing was excellent. Friday night's first day in Maine was probably one of the best late model races I've seen in my life.
It was.
Really?
Yes.
It was good.
And, I mean, even the heat races and everything. And hopefully the World Outlaw officials are listening because I got in a little trouble on Dirt Nerds from some World Outlaw people last weekend. So we might as well just put it on the air here, too. Sure. But, hey, they inverted 6 in the heat races on Saturday at Eldora in the late models. You know what happened? There was passing.
And the guys that started 6 made the features.
The crowd were standing up cheering.
Yeah.
So when you invert cars and make cars pass each other, it's great racing.
All right. For a guy who's not a racer, what did we just do that made this great?
Yeah. Well, the World Outlaws don't like to invert. They just start the fastest guy in the front, and a lot of times it becomes a high-speed parade instead of a race.
Okay. All right.
And evidently they took offense to that when I said that last week or
so then
some other things.
We put the faster guys in the back?
Yeah, they invert 6.
So for the big late model races at Eldora, they're not sanctioned. They're not a World of Outlaws race. They're not whatever sanction race. It's just the track rules. Okay. So these big races, it always used to be the fastest car would start 6th in each heat race. 6 heat races. So 6 heat races. The person starting 6th, and those were the 6 fastest guys. Well, now they made it a little better.
Yeah,
because it did get to be kind of hard to always start 6th with the way competition nowadays is. Mm-hmm. They spin a wheel with 3, 4, 5, or 6 as an eligible invert. Okay. So. Okay. This year it ended up 6 was inverted, so the fastest guy, the most points. They changed how they do some things, so now it's a points system for Thursday, Friday. Okay. So the guy who got the most points between Thursday and Friday's show started 6th in the first heat race.
Okay, and how did he do?
Well, the big thing is the transfer, and the 2 highest point gatherers are automatically locked into the big show anyway. Okay. But those guys all made it in through the heat races because they had to go past people. So.
And eventual winner on Saturday, Scott Bloomquist, started 13th in his heat race on Saturday night because, there's always a little rumors and controversy in that with Mr. Bloomquist because he's that's one reason he's my favorite late model driver because, he pulls no punches that well. He fell down, I guess, Friday night. After Friday, because Thursday night's races got rained out.
He was with you after the race.
No. He had to race. He had to race during the day on Friday.
Okay, that's all right.
And then it rained and it got a little muddy. And some people don't believe he fell down, but he got taken to the ER in Greenville, Ohio, and his rotator cuff is all messed up, and so he missed Friday night's program. So he lost all the points. Okay. So he had to start 13th, but. He made the top 3 too, but the track was in excellent condition for passing too.
Yeah, and then he won $100,000.
Yeah, then he won his 8th.
Yeah,
not second, third. His 8th $100,000 to win dream race out of the 24 that they've had. Wow. So that's $800,000 just in 8 races at Eldora over the last 24 years. Man, and a third of the races.
That's doing pretty well right there.
Yeah.
If you can race like that, you can afford to race, can't you?
Right. Well, and the best thing is, a lot of people hate him. It's a love-hate deal. You either love him or you hate him. Okay. And some people say you don't have personality, but he does things just to make controversy, which is awesome, I think.
And it's funny. It's funny you say that because I was in the press conference after the race, with him and some of the other media people, and he said, I don't know why, but controversy just always seems to follow me. So according to him, he doesn't try, but I kind of agree with Dwayne. It seems a little provoked at some point.
And it's funny because he wins. He won by 9 seconds, so it wasn't like it. And he started 15th. Yeah. But, he gets up on the microphone and And I know Elliot knows this guy real well. Ben Shelton's interviewing him and asking questions. So Bloomer, in typical Bloomer fashion, just grabs the microphone, starts walking around the car. He gives no cares.
Well, he
kind of just took over.
Yeah, we talked about it in the press conference, and Ben said it's never happened. And Scott said, "Well, I needed to turn around so I could read the sponsors on my car. I didn't want to forget anybody." He goes, "I just figured you didn't want to walk around with me." So.
Well, that is a critical part of racing too, to be able to get all the names that you got to do.
Yeah, but that's kind of typical Bloomquist. It's awesome, and then then he's all done. He's talking about the arm and all. He's like, I got patches and some prescription med because there's all kind of things. And he goes, which will pass the drug test, and all this stuff, and then at the end, they think they're done. And they start walking away, and Bloomer's got one more thing, And he grabs Mike, and he's like, and they said it was a Cinderella story.
That's fun. Now, let me ask you this. With these races, in a race, especially a big race like that one, do they drug test then afterwards?
Oh, yeah.
They drug test before.
Yeah,
yep. There was actually a random list. There was some rumors going around. Some things were regarding that with Bloomquist absence, but it was definitely 100% not true because I talked to the people that administer them in the media center. He was on the list, but obviously he was gone because of his injury. Sure. But everything was settled at the hospital. Everything was figured out. So, yeah. But yes, that is something within the past 2-3 years they have implemented. Yeah. A drug test.
And there's been guys that's failed. I mean, that's that's why they institute it big time now. I mean, and especially these big races. And, they had 78 guys that started out down there. And, the weather was terrible. And the Eldora staff, and it's funny because I talked to Larry Bowes from Eldora yesterday morning. Here he is, 8 in the morning. They're cleaning up the parking lot. I mean, here's the guy that's, running basically the show, the parts in the pits, getting them lined up, doing everything. Here he is picking up, garbage out in the parking lot yet the next day. And, he was talking about the weather, but they did a great job because, Thursday night it rained. They tried till about midnight. And then they ran that Friday morning. Then it rained again. Then Friday nights they finally got in. It started at, about 11 or so.
Yeah, we didn't get done till about 2:30, 3 o'clock.
Yeah, 2:30, 3 o'clock got done. Then Saturday morning, I mean, it's rained down there big time Saturday afternoon. And it only got delayed, about an hour and 45 minutes, I think.
Luckily it happened early enough in the afternoon because Friday happened right at 6 o'clock because I got there at 6 just in time to watch it rain. So luckily it was early enough Saturday where they still only had to delay it, like Dwayne said, an hour and a half or so.
Yeah, and there's a 90% chance to rain. And, that's one thing they kind of said there, it's a lot of places. And you can't blame places, especially regular shows and that, for canceling on a 90% chance of rain. Sure. But, I mean, this is a big show. You had people from everywhere, all over the United States and actually Canada and Australia and other places racing and attending. So they do everything in their power. And, it was a 90% chance to rain. It rained. They had the track ready and worked, and it was, a lot of times the rain will make the track either too fast or too rough and all that. And, I mean, it was perfect. I mean,
it was surprising to me.
Yeah, I mean they did a great job.
They held up perfect.
Yes, it held up great. I mean, Friday night, same main, it looked like a sprint car race. That's one reason I liked it so well, because there's slide job after slide job after slide. Usually in late models, you might get 1 or 2 slide jobs.
Usually in late models, they race each other. I mean, I know Dwayne's not used to seeing side-by-side racing, so it's a little different. But, yes, he's right. There was about, 4 or 5 slide jobs between the leaders.
In 2 laps.
2 laps.
I think there's like 8 or 9 total in like 5 laps. I mean, it was just...
And those are what caused the third guy in third to take the lead and go on to win. So it was pretty cool.
So you were in hog heaven, is what I mean.
Yeah, because they was actually racing.
I mean, I think Dwayne had more fun at the Dream than he does at a big Eldora sprint car race.
I had a lot of fun, but it had a lot to do with being there as they were shady, if that tells you anything, Jim.
So I guess luckily they don't pull basically any of the press or any of the guys like you out of the stands and then test you for anything, is what you're saying?
Oh, well, sure. That's okay.
They are now.
Yeah.
You look like you're having too much fun.
That's right.
Come down here. We better test you. You're on something.
It was the bar wasn't near there, so it was fine. It was a long walk, so the drinks were.
Yeah, you metabolized those
right
drinks a little bit as you were going.
But there was a big rain delay.
Yeah, a real big
real big rain delay. So.
All right.
Hey, my notes are still very good. I could even read them.
That's the important part. We're on the throttle here for a Monday. It's 23 minutes after the hour of high noon. We need to step away. When we come back, we'll talk a little more with the two dirt nerds today.
There you go.
All the way up until about 12:45 or so here today on the Q.
Northwest Ohio's largest trailer dealer with over service department will keep your
Back on the throttle on this Monday, the 11th day of June. And Dwayne, basically the reason Elliot's in here today is because you guys are going to try something that is really kind of unique around the racing world, isn't it?
It is. A lot more popular. Started out radio show slash podcast. Now they got their own TV deal. But Wing Nation, which they're great people. I know a lot of the people on there off and on. And they kind of do a live thing at the Knoxville Nationals. World Outlaws just had a big 3-day Jackson Nationals in Jackson, Minnesota. That paid $40,000 when they did that. And they do a few in Pennsylvania. Well, Elliot with his Dirt Nerds deal, he kind of ran it by me a long time ago. I said, I bet you we could make it happen. So we're coming up with the poor man's version so far. The Dirt Nerds one. It's going to be the first ever live podcast in this region for us. And it's going to be at Waynesfield Motorsports Park this Sunday, part of the Ohio Sprint Speed Week, which is the third leg of it. And then our A360s are running with it too. So our buddy Kyle Sauter in that area should be over there running. And the All-Stars, Ohio Sprint Speed Week has a huge, long tradition. It's 9 nights. It starts Friday at Attica, then goes Eldora Saturday night, Waynesfield Sunday. That's the first 3 shows in this region. And, something Elliot spent a lot of time and money on it right now. And I've helped him. I've got the easy part. I got the track and the permission and working on some drivers and stuff. But we're going to have fun with it. I know Elliot has some ideas, but we're going to get some drivers up there and do some interviews for the fans before. We got a stage that we're putting up, and we're going to be right out front. So we're not going to be inside the gate. That way, while people's waiting in line for tickets or for the tickets gate to open, which Waynesfield's always got a huge line because, one, it's great races, and it's a smaller grandstand, so people in Ohio Sprint Speed Week there is just totally awesome. And like I said, Rex at Attica jumped on board to help sponsor the deal, and because we was looking for some sponsors for it. But I know we're going to have some contests. I know Elliot's got 3 or 4 things planned. We're going to try to have a lot of fun with it. I know we're going to have a lot of fun. I know he's a little more nervous about me because I'm just kind of won't make it fun one way or another. And
it's never good when someone says, "Oh, don't worry, I can pull stuff out of my you-know-where."
Sure it is.
Sure.
Sure it is.
And this is a podcast again. Remember, there's going to be a camera involved
Oh,
in
yeah.
the podcast and everything?
I don't have one unless Dwayne does, but not this time maybe, but in the future
Never know.
maybe.
If there's a podcast involved, then you don't want to be pulling anything out of your
Exactly.
That's exactly
Right.
it. Yeah. Good
But yeah,
So tell me a little more about it, Elliot. I mean, we've heard Dwayne's side of this whole thing. Now, what's reality in this podcast? How's that?
What's reality? That's a good way to answer.
yeah,
Oh,
you don't know.
Yeah, that's the said. Neither of us know for that matter. But yeah, the listenership has grown on it. So,
Okay.
and it was kind of a listening to my end of the year podcast last year. I kind of stated some goals maybe for the following year,
Sure.
and one of them was maybe to look at doing a live podcast. They're popular in the comedy world. Comedians will do them at comedy clubs and stuff,
sure.
and obviously they may have a little more following than they do have a lot more following than we would, but it's grown, so that's good. And then, like I said, Dwayne's been helping me with it more and more. I tell everyone consider him the co-host because he's been around it forever. He's got the knowledge,
Sure.
so then we can bounce back off of each other pretty well when we talk. So anyway, kind of presented it to Dwayne, and he said, let's think about it. Well, originally it kind of went to the wayside because the first place my mind went was Millstream Speedway for the Speed Week finale that they had originally scheduled. I was going to reach out to Shane Helms and the gang, and then that all went to the wayside. So I was kind of telling Dwayne that, and he said, well, what about Waynesfield? And I said, that's a good idea. It's a Sunday, so we don't have to worry about like a midweek show.
Sure.
The biggest thing is it's a track that's gotten a lot of attention the past 3 years from Speed Week. Guys like Kyle Larson, Christopher Bell just constantly praise the place and how racy it is. So, and like Dwayne said, the crowd just seems to grow every year there. It's harder and harder to get a seat. And then Dwayne's got a good relationship with Danny Kelly, who's been on this show before. So all things kind of went well, together to try to make it happen. And Danny was more than happy to have us. So worked out well.
Are there times, have you set a time right now when the first podcast will happen? Or
Yes. So we're just gonna do. This is just a pre-race podcast. The first effort at it we're gonna do. It's gonna be 3:30 to around 4:30 in the afternoon, Sunday, June 17th, like Dwayne said. Waynesfield Raceway Park for the All-Star Circuit of Champions Speed Week show.
Yep, and the NRA 360s are there too. And see, the gates open at 5, so that's why we're doing it beforehand. Entertain fans, and we got some prizes. We got some surprises. Working on some surprise guests.
Cool.
People that's wanting to go over to Waynesfield definitely need to come to this because we're gonna make it fun one way or another. And I know. We'll get some drivers lined up, and that's the thing. We got to see who's having a good speed week and who's not, because that's the problem. I mean, these guys are racing for 9 nights in a row. Sure. Speed week's a grind on them anyway. So if somebody has a bad Saturday night or something's got to rebuild a car, that's why it's kind of flexible who's going to be on there and that. But why we haven't released any names, but maybe this weekend look at Dirt Nerds or on the Throttle Facebook page or Twitter and that, because we're going Attica Raceway Park Friday night for opening night of Speed Week, and I'm going to Eldora Saturday night for a second night to line some things up, and we got hopefully some really good surprises, and fans will want to be there because we got some ideas that could connect some fans with some of the drivers on the stage that we're going to have, and
Cool. Yeah.
we're definitely going to make it fun and fan-friendly, and some fans might even be taking home some surprises or some swag or some.
You gotta like that too.
Yeah.
Elliot really dug deep into the wallet.
He did. Ellie's spending all kind of money. And, see, what I took out of his thing is before he had a list of goals, and he brought me along, and I just make them happen. That's what it is.
Yeah, I just have to pay for him. That's
Yeah. I mean, he didn't say anything about that. Well, I tried to get him some sponsors that we're trying to work on some more of that. I mean, and we will take some sponsors yet this week. We got a stage. We'll hang banners, and Dirt Nerds has been getting a lot of hits on a weekly basis. We do it every Monday night and download it. And you know what? We have 1,000 hits in the first 12 hours last week or something like that.
It was a couple weeks ago, but this week's episode's surpassed the last 10. So hey, who knows?
Yeah. So we're easy. I mean, we could even announce it for the next, sponsorships for the next, month, 2, 3, 12, whatever. I mean, on the Dirt Nerds podcast, we
just keep growing and growing.
Well, and in all seriousness, it started off. Elliot had I'm not going to say what dollar amount budget he had in case his wife's listening, but
We won't talk about that.
he had a set amount, and I know it's exceeded that by about double.
She sees me crying in the corner every night, so she knows it's definitely
I
over
know that's
what we.
because you're a late model fan.
No, no.
The
Definitely
important
not.
thing here is to find a partner, Dwayne, like you did, with very deep pockets.
Right.
You know, and that
Yes.
way it really doesn't matter.
See, yeah, I know.
I
that's
mean, I don't think they're deep by any means, but geez.
that's right.
Oh, they're full of money. That's the
That's right.
important one,
Hey, we even got a polo shirt. He is nice. Like I gotta thank him. He got me a nice Dirt Nerd polo shirt.
That's the only way I can really pay him. So here's some free
And I
stuff.
got a hat. There's only 2 Dirt Nerd hats in the world right now, so I got one of those. But we got some things, and it's going to be a good time. So we invite everybody. And one thing is cool. I mean, we definitely, obviously, want to help Danny get butts in the seats there for the Waynesfield race. But if you're not busy, or if you're busier that night, our event's free and it's outside the gate. You can come. I mean, you don't have to necessarily attend the race to come to our event.
Sure.
For this. So if you're in the area and want to hang out for a while and got other things,
Got
I
a
know.
cooler that you might want to bring along.
That's right.
A couple of steaks, maybe.
That's right.
You know,
Yeah.
things like that.
Heck
You know,
yes.
happy to have 'em,
That's
yeah.
right.
Yeah.
But
I got you.
you
I
know,
understand how that
yeah. Well, and there's a lot of graduations and different things going on right now, and that's some people's concerns. I had a few people's like, well, do you have to come to the race then? No, you don't have to, but
We made it free. So and like Dwayne said, that's the thing with Waynesfield. A lot of people are there waiting to get in for some seats. So we'll be there to try to help that wait be a little shorter.
And evidently, you know, we joke around on that a lot, but in all seriousness, people, it shows you the support we have, and really that, you know, we announced the first night we announced this. I said something about, hey, want to, you know, try to find some sponsors, help cover this. And I mean, Rex the June from Attica Raceway Park jumped right on. And this is that. I mean, they don't really compete against each other because they run on different nights. But here's Rex. Okay, you're having a podcast, another track, but we'll jump on board with the World Outlaw race with the Bad Doty Classic. So we got a banner room hanging up, and we'll be promoting the July 10th World Outlaw race there. You know,
and part of the live podcast is, I believe, Rex. We're going to try to talk to him for it too. So we'll wish him a happy birthday as well on Sunday.
Right.
If you don't know Rex, you should be there because even in our email chains, they can be a little interesting at times as far as giving each other a hard time.
Yeah.
So he's a lot of fun.
I give him a hard time about football because unfortunately, he's like you, Jim. He likes everything in Cleveland. So right now he's a little sad. He's a little sad after last week's basketball game.
You know, you got to be a little sad after that. But, you know, 4 years in a row in the Super Bowl, you know, even though you lost 3 out of 4, you know, I'm starting to feel a little more like the Buffalo Bills.
Right. So
4 years in a row in the NBA Finals, that's kind of like the Super Bowl. You know
right.
what I'm saying?
Exactly.
I'm happy. It beats 1 and 31. You know
right.
What I mean?
Exactly.
Yeah.
But and we had other races. You know, Elliot and I happened to be at Eldora all weekend, and like we didn't really say, but Earl Pearsons Jr. and Chris Madden won the qualifying nights, the 2 featured, and I wasn't to the Friday afternoon ones, but I think Jonathan Davenport and
oh man,
I forget who won the other one. I was at work. And,
Daryl Lanigan.
Yeah, Daryl Lanigan. That's right.
Madden hadn't won until he had a little brain fart.
Yeah, they was the winners of the prelim nights and that, and. The other places that got in, Gas City got in after a rain delay. They had the NRA 360 sprints, the non-wing sprints, and the modifieds, and former NASCAR regular and now NASCAR announcer Kenny Wallace, which if you go on any of his social media, he talks about it, got rained out at Lima, and he went over to Gas City and won the A-Main in the modifieds and said that he really likes this region because and this say no bull crap. He likes to kid around a lot too, but he's pretty serious when he talks. He races modifieds in like 25 or 30 states in the United States. That's all he does now. And he says right here in this area, Ohio, Indiana, is the toughest modifieds that he races against in the country. Wow, and and he won over there. And Max Stanball from Elide, Ohio, won the 360s, and Clinton Boyles and Paul Hazen 57 car won another A-Main in the non-wing sprint cars. And Paul Hazen's a guy that definitely needs to be in the sprint car all the time.
How old is Paul, you think?
Paul he's 50-some years as a car owner now.
Wow.
He's got to be 70, mid-70s, mid to late 70s, does it all on his own. Well, he has a few guys come, but he still hauls the car to the track, works on the car to the track, works on the car. Yeah, a lot of times he's hauling the car to all these races by himself.
He'll drive 2, 3, 4 hours in southern Indiana if they decide to race.
And I mean, several wins as a car owner, several championships and that. And it's a shame that he's not in the Sprint Car Hall of Fame yet, but he will be hopefully one of these days. And Oakshade, just down the road, which they have a huge race this weekend. They have their Barney Oldfield race, paying $5,400 win for the LMS late models on Saturday. If people don't want to go to the All-Star Sprints at Eldora, they can head over to Oakshade for that. But Rusty Schlenk won the late model feature over there Saturday night. And our buddy Ryan Missler on our Inner Circle gang had a little bit of issue. He got some water in his fuel, and the car didn't take off. And when you're starting A main and the car don't run too well, and you're towards the front of the pack, some bad things happen. So he's putting a new body on the car right now.
Okay.
Yeah, he got tore up a little bit, but Matthew Chapman won the Sportsman, Chris Henry the Bombers, and Joe Elliott the Compacts. But and for other people in the area, Friday night also for pavement fans, the Auto Valley Super Sprints at Toledo Speedway with iCar Modified. So if anybody wants to hear local announcer Tyler Perry and his announcing skills, they can go down to Toledo on Friday night. The NRA 360s are with the All-Stars at Waynesfield on Sunday. Some other stuff, the Boss non-wing sprints are at Fremont Saturday night. The SOD sprint cars are up to Quincy, Michigan to Butler. The GLSS 360s are at I-96 on Friday night, and the Fast 305s are actually off at Lima Friday night because the Ohio Sprint Speed Week shows us the All-Stars and the late models on Friday night at Attica, so the Fast 305s are actually going over to Lima on Friday night and racing. So, and Speed Week, like I said, that's all the attention in Ohio. I mean, Speed Week draw, you never know who's going to come. For one, and this year is just probably going to be one of the best speed weeks in a while because you got the All-Stars are tough this year. Then you get guys like Paul McMahon, Joey Saldana, Spencer Basin, and that coming in. And
it's like a holiday in Ohio pretty much.
It is, and there's fans come from all over. I mean, literally, I know there's a bunch of Australians coming to watch. There'll be people usually from
There'll be Australians racing.
Yep. yeah, and that's another thing. It's funny because usually there'll be 4 or 5 Australians come over and race for this deal, and usually an average of mid-40 cars a night, 9 nights in a row. Starts, like I said, Attica Raceway Park Friday, goes to Eldora Saturday, Waynesfield Sunday, which you'll be able to listen to Elliot and I blab beforehand, so you'll see our great faces made for radio.
So that's obviously the best one to go to.
Yes. Then they moved to Wayne County on Monday, Sharon over on the Pennsylvania line on Tuesday, Atomic Speedway Wednesday, Muskegum County down by Zanesville on Thursday, which is actually owned by the late model family, the Moran family. Mm-hmm. Then Lima Land a week from Friday. And then it closes out at Atomic again for the big finale. So it's always huge. And this year is going to be excellent. I mean, Carson Macedo from California won the last 2 days. All-Stars are up in New York this weekend, three-day show. Paul McMahon won 1, and Carson Macedo 2. So those guys are heating up, and it'll be a good week. And like I said, this weekend there's plenty of racing if you want racing. Pavement, dirt, late models, sprint cars, whatever.
Whatever you want is out there right now.
Yes.
Well, we need to step away, and once we come back, we'll say our goodbyes. Remind everybody one more time that the podcast is coming up this weekend. Right now, you're on the throttle on the Q, 96.5.
Urban Auto for their vehicle repair.
Exceptional customer service is standard. We make the entire process easy. The Brian Ford difference. We don't want to just sell you a vehicle today. We want you to be a customer for life.
All right, last little segment here with On the Throttle, guys. You're getting quite a few texts here right now.
I know, we got listeners. Look at
we
that.
got people listening to us here today for sure. Elliot, why don't you? The Bloomquist injury I found it kind of fascinating in the break. Why don't we kind of end our things with maybe an inside look into the guy, and he actually did get hurt on the weekend.
Yeah, so it was some details that obviously, I was in the press conference, so I did get more of those maybe than a lot of people. And if you search some videos online, Dirt on Dirt, I believe, posted a lot. But Scott was going into his trailer Friday afternoon, or he was in his trailer going into the hauler. On the tongue of the trailer, he slipped and fell, went down. Said as soon as he went down, he knew, we got to go. We got an issue here. So he was literally telling sponsors, telling people, hey, I'm probably done for the weekend because I'm getting surgery tonight. So like Dwayne said, they went right away. He said he didn't have his phone with him or nothing. He just took off to the hospital. And historically, Bloomer's always had, we call him Bloomer for short, Jim, just so you know. He's always had, not always, but he's had issues with both his shoulders, actually. But the left one happened to be the one that he's always had a worse issue with, and that's the one he landed on. Oh, wow. So the prognosis after he got out of the ER at midnight Friday night, so like I said, that's why he did not race. They said it's torn. You can tear it worse, but at the end of the day, you still need surgery either way. So if you can get through the pain, you can race. Wow. And I don't know if Dwayne necessarily saw it, but I was in front of Victory Lane. He was hurting, getting out of the car. And in the press conference, you can tell he couldn't sit without getting too antsy because he was in pain.
You tell in the driver's introductions, too. And usually he has his signature move when he wins a big race of the crotch chop. Okay. Like a big-time wrestler, and he couldn't do that, so I think it's pretty legit. Well, and, there's always controvery around him, just there always has been, and he sells hundreds of $1,000s worth of merchandise a year for his weak links, skull and crossbones, Black Sunshine. He likes. Likes to showboat a little too, so and I've talked to him at links before too, and a lot of it's for fun, and sure. Of course that obviously causes controversy. So anytime something legit happens, people are like, "Oh, well, how?" It
was funny because one of the reporters in the press conference said he was busy writing a story, so he wasn't out there for Victory Lane, and everyone's asking questions, and he goes, wait a second, did we get a crotch chop tonight? And Bloomer just looked and just said, no. And we're all like, dude, he was hurting. We could tell. Like, there was no way he was going to do that.
You could definitely tell. And one of the best tweets probably of the weekend, Timothy Culp, which is a late mile racer that was racing against Scott Bloomquist. And just to go to outdoor, you got to learn a little bit about it to understand tweet. But steak on the stick's very addictive down there. He says, so my weekend spent $346 on steak on the stick. Tore up a lot of stuff, and the racing was over when they sent the Bloomer to the ER on Friday night. Everybody knew he was going to win on Saturday.
Yeah, that was a good one.
And that's basically what it is. This one, everybody thinks that, and that's what's funny because Tyler and his sister went along with us this weekend, and everybody's like, "Oh, Bloomer is like." I tell you what, if he's on a track or Saturday night, I don't care where he starts. He's he even said he set the car up so he could drive it differently because of his shoulder. I mean, he was driving almost all with his right hand, and the car was set up to drive that way. Yeah.
So
he's not a dumb man by any means.
No, he knows his stuff.
You could tell when he got in the lead, everybody's like, "Oh, he's gonna burn his tires getting up that quick." But and I noticed it, and I hit Tyler. I said, "What?" I said, "Right there's his tire conserve move." He moved grooves. He went down to where the stuff was wet and sticky. Until they started catching up with him again, then he'd go back up to where he is fast, and that's what you got to do in a 100-lap race too. Yeah. You can't burn your stuff up quick. So
smart guy, smart racer, and a successful racer.
But yeah, it was a great weekend, and we got a great week. Hopefully, this rain holds off because Speed Week is usually hot or rainy, and we've had too much rainy and too much hot. So let's have a great week.
I think everything looks like the weatherman is going to cooperate with you. One last time, when's the podcast here, guys?
Sunday, June 17th, Waynesfield Raceway Park, 3:30 to 4:30-ish, we'll will say, because if we're having fun, we're going to keep rolling. So
Yep.
we'll have some giveaways for you. We'll have some driver interviews and who knows what else. So it'll be free right outside the main gate. So if you're there at Waynesfield on Sunday afternoon, come check us out.
The only thing we can guarantee you is Elliot and I is going to be there talking, and we're going to have a lot of fun.
Yeah, that's normal for you two guys.
That's right.
No doubt about that.
I have a few ideas too. Elliot's not sure he likes some of them, but
Elliot will be taken off guard several times.
That's right.
Sunday afternoon, because
That's
I'm
right.
sure you have several ideas that you've not.
I
even
might have
bounced
some
off of him yet.
right. I might have some surprises that he don't even know about.
I will say ideas on this whole thing between me and Dwayne have not been short by any means.
Yeah.
There's plenty of ideas. There's just not enough time to do them all.
Yep.
So.
And that's one of the best things I told Elliot. You do this live stuff, and you just have to pull it out of your hat and see what happens, because anything can change, as you know, doing live radio.
Yes, sir. Anything can happen
And this
at
is
any
a
time.
live,
Live
live podcast was a stage, and we're gonna have some drivers, and we're gonna have some fun, and get some people at Waynesfield to watch some excellent racing that night too.
Sounds like fun. The Dirt Nerds there. Elliot Aldridge here with Dwayne Hancock on the throttle. Thanks, guys. Have a great podcast this weekend. And, Elliot, we're looking forward to you coming back on the throttle here later on. How's that?
Anytime. Thanks for the invite. I know Dwayne won't invite me, so.
It's 10 minutes before the hour, 1 o'clock, and On the Throttle brought to you by Brian Ford Lincoln, Suburban Auto, Jason Dietz Collisions Repair, Trailer Repair, AJ Door, Fast Forward Motorsports, and your local Napa dealer here in Bryan.
Savings at AJ